You have Thunder Pacers game 4. OKC favored by 6. The Oilers came back. They were down 3-0, and then they win 5-4 in overtime. And this is how the game winner sounded.
Breaking free is Draisaitl to the net. Score! Leon Draisaitl has tied the series with his 4th OT winner in the playoffs. Final score, Edmonton 5, Florida 4 in overtime.
The man on the call, Jack Michaels, Edmonton Oilers radio play-by-play voice. How's the throat today, Jack?
Dan, I'm okay. You know what? I don't know whether that triggered you, because 19 years ago, you and Keith were doing Homer Call of the Week, and you had me on twice in 2 weeks, Alaska and Vegas and Alaska and Fresno. And I remember you being fascinated with it being the East Coast Hockey League, championship series involving Alaska and Fresno.
Great to have you back. You had a great seat for this with your team down 3-0. What were you thinking?
Well, to be honest with you, that's where the Oilers seem to thrive. I don't know what it is, but this club is not content with prosperity. It loves to dig itself a hole, whether it's early in the season, they started 0-3 this year, 2-9-1 last year, or whether it's early in games. And you just had a feeling that if Edmonton got one, the momentum could turn in a hurry. We've got 2 great teams, Dan. I would say through 4 finals, this Stanley Cup final is shaping up as the best in the history of the sport. And I honestly don't, that's not an exaggeration. These 2 teams are clearly the best in the National Hockey League. They've found an extra gear, and, Florida's a worthy champion. This is now a best of 3 with 2 on Edmonton's home ice, but I don't think anyone can be called a favorite right now. We've had the 2 latest game-tying goals in the history of the final a week apart.
Also, when we talked about this last week, how important is the Cup to Canada? We know it's important to Edmonton. Is Canada rooting for Edmonton?
Well, I think for years Edmonton has been kind of everyone's second favorite team. As you know, passionate fan bases exist in, Toronto and, so I don't know whether the Leafs are more of a polarizing figure than some of the other clubs. Edmonton is more, Gretzky, right? It's no one really hates the Oilers except maybe those who reside in Calgary, right? So it's a bit of a national team from that perspective, in the sense that when you live in Canada, there's no middle ground with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Edmonton is a little bit different in the sense, I can live with Edmonton winning the Cup. I can't live with Leafs winning the Cup.
When you go to overtime, you know that the game is on somebody's stick there. As the play-by-play voice, how do you approach that knowing that it can end very quickly?
Absolutely no divergence, no tangents, no, thoughts that come to mind. Just button it up and call the game. And you have to do that really with Connor McDavid anyway. As you can probably tell, I'm prone to gab. I need to button it up, call the game, because it can end at any moment. And as you saw, Leon Draisaitl, that's a one-handed shot that gets a carom off a kneecap and goes 5-hole on Bobrovsky. Not your typical, OT winner. You just have to be ready, and you can't, again, go off on some random thought from 1971.
You are a professional at doing this. We just heard your call with the game-winning goal in overtime. Seton O'Connor, who works on my show, we love Leon Draisaitl. We only bring his name up in June, but he's always scoring big goals. I want you to grade Seton's call of Leon Draisaitl's game winner last night.
Leon Draisaitl! He's done it again!
I guess what I'd say is I need a little crowd noise. It's not completely fair to him.
Oh, okay.
He's got a little bit of a phone booth situation. The good thing is his voice did not crack. I will say that. You know, he didn't sound like a guy going through adolescence, so that's a start.
And, you know, you play-by-play guys in hockey, it's like you're trying to cram words in, and then all of a sudden it just is all kind of jumbled. And then it's, what if I did it with Draisaitl in overtime?
That's why I went to the overtime call the way I did. I figured that was the one word that everyone would understand.
Hey, great to talk to you again, and good luck with this next game on Saturday. Thank you, Jack.
Dan, I really appreciate you having me on, and Keith says hello.
Jack Michaels, Edmonton Oilers radio play-by-play voice, also does TV as well, 15 years doing radio. Yeah, we had him on for Homer Call of the Week 19 years ago, and Keith Olbermann has stayed in touch with him.
That was the old hour two,
Yeah.
right in the middle of the show there.
Our radio show, the Homer Call of the Week.
That was fun. Homer Call of the Week was fun.
Brought to you by